I was telling a buddy of mine the other day that you have to know your enemies, because if you don't know your enemies, then you can be easily deceived, right? Satan is not going to do things completely different than the church. He is going to do things similar to the church, and he's going to have traditions similar to the church. You may think you're going to the church, but you may not be worshiping who you think that you're worshiping, right? And so you have to know your enemies, like just like in the military. They spend a lot of time and effort trying to get intel on their enemies, because you have to understand that your enemies got the same goal as you do. We want to be able to bring people to the Lord. The enemy wants to be able to take people away from the Lord. So you ask, okay, so we want to be set apart from the world. So what do we need to do? Well, step one says in Mark 7 through 13. So I'm going to read that real quick to you, and we're going to talk about that verse. So in Mark 7, let's see, Mark, okay. Got my brain fog going on here. All right, so we're going to talk about Mark. It talks about traditions and commandments in Mark. Very good chapter in the Bible. There's going to be some things that come out of this verse that people don't like, but we're not here to just do things that people like and to make people feel happy. I know that people get to where they want to make the Lord palatable, but I don't think a palatable Lord is the way he's meant to be. So we're going to tell it like it is. So in this, he's talking to the Pharisees and scribes, right? Because they were eating with dirty hands, essentially. And so he says, these people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men, right? The commandments of men. So essentially what the Lord is saying here is that you disregard and neglect the commandments of God and cling faithfully to the traditions of men. Why do we do that? Because it's easy. It's earthly. So a lot of times when you get into being stuck in tradition, a lot of times it's a matter of the heart, right?